Most people doing intermittent fasting are running a noon to 8 window. Some push it to 1 to 9. That's the worst possible alignment with the body's insulin biology. The data is clear. Eating earlier in the day at the same calories beats eating later. Here's what the research actually shows works. Start with the cleanest study in the field, Sutton, published in Cell Metabolism in 2018. 8 men with prediabetes, 5-week crossover. Same person tested under 2 conditions, same calories, same food, same total intake. The only variable was the window. In one condition, they ate from 8 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, a 6-hour window ending mid-afternoon. In the other condition, they ate from 8 in the morning to 8 at night, 12-hour window, same calories. The early window improved insulin sensitivity, beta cell responsiveness on a glucose tolerance test, systolic blood pressure, and oxidative stress markers, all of it at the same calorie intake, without losing weight. That last part is the punchline. People assume the benefit of intermittent fasting is calorie restriction by accident. Eat fewer hours, eat less food. The Sutton trial controlled the calories on purpose. The men ate the exact same amount in both conditions. The metabolic improvement came from the window placement alone. Small study, 8 men. The design is what carries it. Within-subject crossover. Same person, both conditions, calorie-matched. That isolates timing as the variable. The mechanism is circadian. Your body is wired for morning fuel, not evening fuel. Poggiogalle's 2018 review in Metabolism laid this out. Insulin sensitivity peaks in the morning. It declines through the day. By evening, your pancreas is sluggish and your muscles are slower to pull glucose out of the blood. The same plate of food produces a higher, longer glucose curve than it would at breakfast. Scheer's 2009 paper in PNAS pushed it further. Researchers deliberately shifted 10 healthy adults 12 hours out of phase with their circadian clock. Within days, healthy people, insulin intolerance, elevated insulin, inverted cortisol, higher blood pressure. The food didn't change, the timing did. That's how powerful the circadian signal is. Now, look at what most people actually do. They skip breakfast, they drink coffee until noon, they eat from 12 to 8, sometimes later. They think they're doing intermittent fasting right because the window is 16 hours. The window length is fine. The placement is wrong. They're eating exactly when their insulin response is at its weakest. Hutchison 2019 in obesity tested this directly. 15 men at risk for type 2 diabetes, randomized crossover, same 9-hour eating window in both conditions. The only variable was placement. Early window from 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, late window from noon to 9 at night. Fasting glucose dropped under the early window. Under the late window, it did not. Both windows improved the meal response, but only the early window moved the baseline. Then the counterweight you need to hear, Lowe's TREAT trial, JAMA Internal Medicine 2020, 116 adults, 3 months. The window was noon to 8, the most popular late window in the world. No significant weight loss versus the unrestricted control. No significant change in fasting insulin. No change in A1C. No change in lipids. Late window time-restricted eating did basically nothing. That's the picture. Early window time-restricted eating shows the metabolic signal. Late window time-restricted eating shows almost nothing. The 8 to 3 window from the Sutton trial is the extreme end. Most people can't end eating at 3 and still have a social life. They don't have to. The benefit shows up well before that extreme. Anywhere the window is pushed earlier in the day and ended before late evening, the body's insulin clock starts to do the work it was wired to do.
Here's the protocol the research actually backs. The principle is simple. Push your eating window earlier in the day. End it before evening. The exact hours depend on your life, but the direction is the same. Earlier beats later. Every published trial points the same way. Quick note before we go further. This is research, not medical advice. The numbers come from studies, not a prescription. Talk to your doctor before changing anything, especially if you have diabetes managed with insulin or sulfonylureas, a history of an eating disorder, low blood sugar episodes, or if you're pregnant or nursing. This protocol is not for you in those cases. If you're on metformin or other glucose-lowering drugs, the timing shift can change how those drugs hit. Coordinate with your prescriber first. Now the practical version. A reasonable target is a window from about 9 or 10 in the morning to about 6 in the evening. That's an 8-hour eating window, ending before your body's insulin response collapses for the night. It's livable. You can still have dinner with your family. You're just moving it earlier and skipping the late-night snack instead of skipping breakfast. If you want to push closer to what Sutton tested, an 8 to 4 window or 8 to 5 window is the next step up. Same direction, tighter. The Wilkinson 2020 trial in Cell Metabolism is worth knowing here. 19 adults with metabolic syndrome, 3 months, just a 10-hour eating window, self-selected. Most participants naturally finished eating around 7 in the evening. Weight, blood pressure, LDL, A1C, and fasting insulin all came down. That's a real-world signal at a window most people could actually keep. Compare that to the Cienfuegos 2020 trial in Cell Metabolism. Adults with obesity, 4-hour late window versus 6-hour late window, both centered around afternoon and early evening. 2-month trial. Both groups lost a little weight. Neither group hit the metabolic numbers the early window trials show. The lesson is direct. Tightening the window without moving it earlier does not deliver the same benefit. The placement is the lever. What about coffee and water during the fasting hours? Black coffee is fine. Plain tea is fine. Water is fine. Anything with calories or sweeteners that hit your insulin response is technically breaking the fast and pulling you out of the metabolic state the protocol is built on. The cleaner you keep the fasting hours, the cleaner the signal. What about workouts? If you train hard, you can shift your eating window slightly later on training days to fit a real meal after the session. The principle still holds. End eating before late evening. A workout at 5 in the afternoon plus a 6:30 dinner still respects the window. A workout at 9 at night plus a 10 o'clock dinner does not. One more thing the research keeps confirming. Garaulet's 2013 paper in the International Journal of Obesity tracked 420 adults in a weight loss program. Same calories, same coaching, same program. People who ate their main meal after 3 in the afternoon lost significantly less weight than people who ate it before 3. Energy intake was comparable, sleep was comparable, appetite hormones were comparable. The only meaningful difference was when the food went in. So the full picture: push the window earlier, end eating before evening, keep the fasting hours clean. Talk to your doctor first if any of the conditions we covered apply to you. The point of intermittent fasting was never the number of hours you skipped. It was the alignment between your fuel and your body's clock. Most people are running the right idea on the wrong schedule. If you want the bedtime version of the same lesson, the drink the research suggests can drop your overnight blood sugar. Check out our video on the bedtime drink that lowers fasting glucose. The link is in the description below. This is research, not medical advice. Talk to your doctor before changing anything.